Vancouver. We got mountains, we got beaches, we have bridges, we have boats as part of our transit system, and we also have a pretty good competitive riding scene. So last week was the last week of August, and a lot of these rides, group rides and races, were having their season finale, and I did them all. So let me tell you about them. First one is on Tuesday. It's the CAC ride. I'd say probably the strongest group ride in the city. Probably also one of the more intimidating ones for beginners. So because it was finale week, there's also gift card prizes at the top of the main climb, and I think also on the sprint on the way back into town. And it drew a pretty big crowd. So the way the group ride works is we meet at 6 o'clock, Stanley Park at the roundabout, and we roll out neutral out of the city onto the North Shore. And then once we get to Marine, we take a bit of a obscure route there. But once we get into the less densely populated area, it becomes kind of an open race. And the main obstacle on the way out is Sharon, which is a 3-minute climb, and on the finale week there was gift cards at the top, and also there were flares on the climb, so it was a pretty crazy atmosphere. I felt like you were riding in the Tour. I'll find some footage to put up of the flares, because I had my GoPro on me, but it's crazy when you're struggling for your life up this brutally steep climb. It's kind of hard to work the recording button. Anyways, a good effort up the climb. I hit a 3-minute power PR, which is pretty standard for a CAC group ride. And then after Sharon, you kind of roll along a false flat, a bit of uphill for another 10 minutes before you descend down Westport. And this is where the ride gains some infamy, because people tend to crash on Westport. So if you go to the CAC ride, just be mindful of the Westport descent. And then once Westport is dealt with, we ride up another hill. It's around 2-3 minutes again, called Eagle Ridge, to the roundabout. And once we have ridden up Eagle Ridge, we roll easy to the Horseshoe Bay Lookout, and the whole ride regroups there. Since it was finale week, they also had drinks for us by this nutrition company called Solo Fuel, based of Ontario. They're providing budget-friendly drink options for cyclists and all endurance athletes, actually. But that was nice because I was pretty much all out of water. And then on the way back, it's a lot flatter into town. We skipped the 2 big hills, so the group stays kind of together more so. And it ends with a little sprint on the last little kicker. And again, since it was finale week, we had a post-ride celebration. We went to Batch along the seawall for some food and drinks. It was really nice. Then the next day is the 602, which meets by the Laughing Statues near Stanley Park, and as the name implies, it leaves at 6:02 based on whatever watch the ride leader Dave is wearing that day. And it consists of 3 kind of race effort segments and then at the end of each race effort segment, we do a regroup. So I went to the ride this week, but I didn't contest any of the segments because I had a big day planned for Thursday. So we roll out of the park in the city, kind of easy, all in the group together. And then we get to Grouse, which is where we do the first effort. Grouse is the shortest of the the shortest paved road of the mountains in the North Shore. So it only takes 3 to 5 minutes. Then we do a regroup on top, then ride through the British properties, and then towards the top of the British properties, there's another sprint kind of effort that takes 5 minutes. So it's a bit climby with some rollers, and then a sprint at a bridge, which is impossible to describe. I rode it easy last week, but in the past I've ridden hard. Maybe you can find footage of that to put up here. But we regroup after the British property sprint. Then there's actually a water fountain that we all fill up again. And then we do Cypress, so Chippendale to First Lookout. And that's the last segment, which takes around 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Then we regroup at the First Lookout. On nice days you can see Baker over Vancouver, which is really nice. Then we just descend back down into the city. And at 6:02, it's kind of traditional to have a hot dog or 2 hot dogs at the end of the ride at Sunset Beach. So, especially during the August month, the ride kind of is finishing as the sun sets. So you get a great sunset at the beach with a hot dog. And another fun fact about 6:02, that's where me and Cynthia met. So, yeah, I don't know. Is it the #1 couples ride in Vancouver? It's hard to say. Yeah, Thursday morning then you get a bonus ride on Thursday morning. The Muffin Ride, which is a pure social ride. It would probably claim to be the #1 couples ride in Vancouver, and probably rightfully so. But essentially, super social. We roll out pretty easy all together at 6:15 from Burrard Bridge on the Kit side, and we ride to Isetta, which is a coffee shop in West Vancouver. And there's a long coffee stop. It's called the Muffin Ride, so people normally get muffins. I had a blueberry ricotta muffin last week, which was quite good. And then kind of people leave the cafe on their own time, so we don't really ride as a big group back together. It's kind of small groups of 4 and 5. But last Thursday, I had a prescribed workout. So from Isetta, I rode to Cypress. I did 4 reps of Cypress, which was a lot for considering I woke up at 6 a.m. or 5:45. I was feeling pretty drowsy. But I got the workout done. By the end of it, I felt pretty good. And then rolled back home, which was thankfully all downhill. Then Thursday night is the finale of what I'm dubbing as the Vancouver quad shot, and that's the CRC crit race down in Richmond. So naturally I was kind of a dead man walking at this point after already doing 300 TSS and 140K that morning, but I went out because it was the season finale, and it's just a fun race. I missed the break, which is kind of disappointing. I got so close. I spent like a lap on the front trying to get to it, and then I couldn't close those last 5 meters, and I just didn't make it, which was unfortunate for the last crit of the season, but it is what it is. Either way, the best part about CRC is not the race, it's the after events. So after the race, we all roll back downtown together, and most of us head to Jonathan Rogers Park, where we have a little picnic. There's normally tacos from Taco Fina, which is hilariously overpriced, and then a couple breweries in the area people will pick up drinks from, and we all kind of hang out in the park together. Anyways, that's the Vancouver quad shot for you. Let me know what you guys think. And they're all over this year, but next year we do it all again. Anyways, have a good one.